Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharya Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome Lord Narayan, who is permanently resident here at the Sri Narayan Dham in his form as Lord Sri Krishna today in our celebrations of the Sri Krishna Janmashtami week or the Gita week. And it is in these celebrations and festivities when one can make a direct contact with the Supreme Lord by hearing His pastimes or His leelas. Every day when we are in a crisis, we want to be comforted by the Supreme Lord. And it is these days that you can sit side by side with the Lord and assimilate His divinities. You do not have eyes to see Him, but these Vedas have life. The Vedas has spiritual potencies within it, and when we use these spiritual potencies from the Vedas to describe the Lord's leelas, then there is an infinite divinity that can be entrapped by you. So instead of craving the Lord at home, it is in these festivities when you attend, you can get the total bliss of the Lord. So it is only human that when you meet the Lord, you don't want to ask Him and tell Him how much you love Him. It is only human to ask Him to remove a quantum of your miseries. Is it not? It is how we are built. So use these days. There's 8 days. Use these 8 days. Sacrifice what you have to sacrifice. Here at the Sri Narayan Dham, we never celebrate without the Lord. It is pointless me having satsang if Lord Sri Krishna is not present. And I have proven His presence and every festival's present from the time I started satsang. And we've done that. All our satsangs have been live since 2015. And there is enough evidence, if you go on our YouTube, to see that the Lord had physically appeared. He gave many indications that He has appeared physically at all our festivities. So, in Sanatan Dharma, we know God. I made this declaration and it went on TikTok and it went viral and we had many comments, and some people of other religion did get upset. And there were many comments there. Some said that the Guru is confused. So I listened to my discourse a few times to see if I was making myself clear. And from my perspective, there was nothing confusing about that discourse. But I want to reiterate. There are many religions that are currently in practice in the world today. And if we historically and scientifically probe through these religions, we will find that the oldest existing religious system is Sanatan Dharma. There were many religious systems and civilizations that no longer exist. But Sanatan Dharma has shown its existence and is currently and will always be the oldest religious system in this universe. And that cannot be disputed by any human, either a theist or an atheist, either a historian or a scientist. Nobody can dispute that Sanatan Dharma is the oldest dharmic system in the world, and no matter how much we can probe beyond, it will only be Sanatan Dharma in the absolute background. Sanatan Dharma, as I've stated on countless occasions, is not a religion. It is a way of life for all humans that lives on this planet and beyond. So also one of our mottos is respect all, worship your own. And if all of humanity entrenches this motto and live by it, then we will have peace and harmony in this world. If you respect all, worship your own. Sanatan Dharma has a set of information condensed into knowledge systems called Vedas. Vedas means knowledge. And as we move into the age of information and technology, then it is becoming prevalent around the world that this knowledge of Sanatan Dharma can be fact-checked. Can be fact-checked. You can fact-check that the Ramayana really did happen. 30, 40 years ago, it was regarded as a myth. Today, we can scientifically state that the Ramayana actually happened. Similarly, we can actually state that the Mahabharata did happen. And the fruit of the Mahabharata is the conversation between Arjuna and the Supreme Lord. All these can be fact-checked. And I myself would Vasudeva, our own Vasudeva, we went to Vrindavan and we went to Mathura. And we had the opportunity to see the tree that Lord Sri Krishna played in when he was a little child. And his footprints exist on that tree, and the tree also has a hollow wherein he used to hide. And I was given a few berries from that tree which is encased somewhere. Okay? We also had the opportunity to visit the oldest Krishna temple in Vrindavan, and there was a Go Mata there with a calf. I shared that memory recently. And you will see me in the picture touching the cow, I think together with Vasudeva and Trilok, Guruji's grandson. And when I saw this beautiful white Brahmin calf, I asked Lord Krishna if I could have a beautiful Brahmin calf like this. This was in 2017. On the 5th or on the 26th of May 2018, under a year, Lord Sri Krishna awarded me not with one white Brahmin calf, but 2 white Brahmin calves. Today, they still exist and they live in our Gaushala. You can fact check all of this. So Sanatan Dharma is a set of knowledge that can be fact checked. It is not a faith-based system where I will preach and drill into you information that you have to comply with because I drilled it into you. The information I am giving you can be fact-checked. And I'm using this word fact-checked because it's a common statement now on social media. People are posting any story, and if you are a person of common sense and logic, then you won't be gullible and drink in everything that you're going across. You can stop wherever you are and fact check. So when I went onto TikTok and in Sanatan, and I said that unlike the Abrahamic religion, and I'm saying this with love, unlike the Abrahamic religion, our scriptures, the Vedas, do not come through prophets. It is the very essence of the Supreme Lord itself. The Vedas is the essence of the Supreme Lord itself. And that is why I said on TikTok, Hemita, that in Sanatan Dharma we know God. And how do we know God in Sanatan Dharma? God has availed himself the last time 5,000 years ago. The last time 5,000 years ago. And when the Lord appeared 5,000 years ago, he appeared with the compiler of the Vedas himself, Veda Vyas. He eyewitnessed the life of the Supreme Lord as described in the Mahabharata. He was an eyewitness when the Lord was on this planet Earth, and he could, as he himself is a partial incarnation of the Supreme Lord, Lord Sri Narayan, he can synthesize the past, the present and the future. He can synthesize the past, the present and the future. So remember, the Vedas are written or compiled by a compiler who lived and experienced the essence of the Vedas himself before compiling it. Can anything be more rock solid and scientific than the compiler living, experiencing, witnessing, and then compiling? So the Vedas is rock solid, cannot be shaken by any religious system that exists now, that existed previously, and that will exist in the future. So the Lord, the Creator of this universe, blessed the planet Earth by incarnating. So I want to make this clear. We are on a program of oneness. And whilst we are on this program on oneness, We are learning the scriptures and practices of other religions. And I have made it my life's mission. I have made it my life's mission. On Monday, this week, we went to a Morum, which is a prayer held by the Islamic faith. And I had the opportunity to sit at the shrine. There were devotional singing in which I could meditate. And I lost myself spiritually in that prayer. I witnessed so much of similarities. That shrine and this shrine, the ingredients, the manner the shrine was set, the strings that was in the shrine, the loban, the tilak on the hands of Fatima. I'm not too sure, I must find out. But there were hands, silver hands inside that shrine that had tilaks on it. They had dots on it. And I found myself at home. And Satish Bhai also felt himself at home, because we had vegetables and he could have had his meat and fish. Okay, I'm trailing him. I'm watching him. Even through the ethereal atmosphere, through Facebook, I'm there on Satish Bhai. I'm questioning what he's eating. We found so much of love and similarity in Islam. There was so much of synthesis between Islam and Sanatan Dharma. No different. Very little difference. I think the meat on that day was the only difference. So, I am saying, would love, that the Vedas must not be taken lightly. We accept the Torah as it was revealed to Moses. We accept the Torah as it was revealed to Moses. Moses is one prophet. We accept the Bible as it was revealed to 4 witnesses. And it's in 29 books. And it was written 300 or 400 years after the passing of Lord Jesus Christ. We accept it without any question. We accept the Quran. We accept the Quran. It was revealed to a single prophet who had witnesses who memorized what was revealed to him. We accept that the Quran was actually written between 2 years of the passing of Prophet Muhammad. We are not interfering in any aspect of the Torah, of the Bible, of the Quran. Similarly, these Abrahamic religions must accept our Vedas. We're not asking you for your logical excavations and proofs. We are taking your scriptures on face value. But whilst we are doing that, I'm giving you proof. I'm giving you evidence. I'm giving you scientific evidence, because Sanatan Dharma was oppressed and a whole lot of disinformation, deliberate disinformation, both by the Muslim moguls and the British. Deliberate disinformation. So my job is to clear that disinformation, and for this reason I am presenting Sanatan Dharma as an absolute science. I'm presenting Sanatan Dharma as an absolute science. Then, on our way to this Morum prayer, Jessica informed me that one of the heads of Hindu Dharma Mahasabha said that the Sri Narayan Dham is gone too political. All right? So, we need to understand, and I need to explain. We need to understand, and I need to explain. So when Lord Ram took his birth, in what category of society did he take his birth in? King? What do kings do? They rule a nation. They rule their kingdom. What type of rulers are kings? Autocratic. But if done as per Vedic injunctions, as you would have noticed in the Ramayana and in the Mahabharata, the kings have advisors and they have ministers. There are many departments, the treasury, the police, the defense. The only difference is the king comes into the power through bloodline. And in a democracy, presidents come into power through elections and voting democratically. So one side is autocratic, the other side is democratic. So isn't Lord Ram a politician? To run a nation, you have to be a politician. So God took his birth as a politician. Lord Sri Krishna also took his birth in which category? As a king. Lord Sri Krishna took his birth as a king. He had his kingdom. Did he not? Did he not take his birth as a politician? So God is the supreme scientist and is also the absolute politician. Supreme scientist and absolute politician. Who else can be the best example if not the Creator himself of anything? Who can be the best example if not the Creator himself? And what is the reason for this huge creation? Recently, the latest telescope was launched, was it not? Recently? And this telescope is confirming the Vedas. This telescope is confirming the Vedas. You can see millions of universes clustered in the galaxy. Yes? What is the purpose of this huge creation if the Creator is unknown? Why would this Creator create such a marvelous universe and hide behind the universe? Why must the Creator be a mystery? Why must it be left to man to conceive a Creator? When man doesn't even know, when he breathes in, what he breathed in, which parts of its body it was divided into, and what came out. Simple breathing. Man can't live without breathing. Yet, man has no idea what he breathes in and what that breath does in his body. You understand? How can man conceive a universe that has infinite systems pulsating to keep it relevant simultaneously? Think man has capacity? Man has capacity to form through his mind an opinion on God. Why would God go through all of this creation and then leave it to man? To figure him out. That is by. Imagine all your life with Jessica. Why would you go through so much of pain, Satish Bhai? If your two sons have to figure out who you are, Satish Bhai, why? You understand? You understand what the Guru is saying? Your creation, you have to enjoy your creation, you have to be one in your creation, and you have to experience your creation have to experience you. You understand? So it is not a very difficult thing that God comes into His creation. Firstly, why create a universe and duck in another universe? Any logic? You understand? If the Lord created this universe, then timelessly He has to enter this universe and correct the universe. His job will be to correct the universe. Is it logical? Does it make sense? So again, Hemita, if you want to take these snippets, Hemita is a bit sleepy. Right? She spent a whole day at hospital. Hemita, that snippet that went viral, right? I'm responding to that snippet. In Sanatan Dharma, the Lord is known. In Sanatan Dharma, the Lord is known. Sanatan Dharma is not a religion. It is a constitution for the universe. Sanatan Dharma is the constitution for the universe. When a constitution is supplied, must we know the authors of the author of the constitution? You must know the author of the constitution. You cannot accept, especially for the universe. This universe is a technology, is it not? This entire universe is a technology, and we need to know the constitution of this universe, and we need to know who promulgated it. Because without knowing the promulgator of the constitution is invalid. The constitution is invalid. So we know the constitution, and the constitution for this universe is 4 Vedas, 6 of the 18 Puranas, 108 Upanishads, the Ramayana, and the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Sutras. That is the constitution of the universe. We know its compiler. The compiler is Veda Vyas. There is no confusion. We know its compiler. Compiler is Veda Vyas, and the compiler lived 5,000 years ago with Lord Sri Krishna. The compiler lived in the Mahabharata. He lived and he witnessed the Vedas coming into life throughout the Mahabharata. All the Vedic injunctions became precedents. Jessica, all the Vedic injunctions that exist as law, the Lord set precedence. The Lord set precedence. Has the Lord spoken? Has the Lord spoken? In which scripture did He speak? He spoke in the Bhagavad Gita. He also spoke in the Bhagavad Puran. Okay? But I'm going to be dealing with both. But let's start with the Bhagavad Gita. Let us start with the Bhagavad Gita. Shanti, how much food you cooked? Be a long night. So let us start with the Bhagavad Gita in the context of my discourse. Chapter 4, verse 5. The Lord said, and He's speaking to Arjuna, and this speech is at the battle of Kurukshetra. Does Kurukshetra exist today? Can we fact check that the Kurukshetra where this conversation took place exists on the planet Earth? Yes. Can we fact check that? Okay. And Lord Sri Krishna stated, and I quote, "Many births of mine have passed, O Arjuna, and so is it with you also. I know them all, but you do not know them." Who is stating this? Is there any reason we should disbelieve the Lord? Is there any reason any other religion should disbelieve this verse? No reason. Is there any reason other religions can state that this is not the Lord who spoke? Lord Sri Krishna is not the Lord that spoke the Bhagavad Gita. Verse 6. Though I am birthless and of immutable nature, comma, though I am the Lord of all beings, comma, yet by employing my own nature, I am born out of my own free will. What the Lord is saying? Our birth is impelled by our karma. Our karma dictates what body we must take, male, female, rich, poor, doctor, lawyer, animal, plant, tree. Our karma dictates our body. The Lord takes birth by His own free will. His birth is a transformation from one place to another place. He transforms from one place to another place. His birth is not through a biological system. The Lord's body is transcendental. It is in Suddha Sattva all the time. It is in absolute spirituality with no taint of materialism. Materialism has the 3 gunas and the 5 elements. 3 gunas and the 5 elements. The Lord's body does not have those elements that we have as humans. You understand, all of you? So, in that snippet, there was somebody from Islam that made over 50 comments. So he said that if the Lord incarnates, then he becomes an ordinary human, he eats and he defecates, and it is inconceivable for him to see how God can defecate. So in response to that comment, I am stating that the Lord comes in a 100% spiritual body, where there's no earth, no fire, no water, no air and no space. Then there's no Satagun, no Rajogun and no Tamogun. It is in Suddha Sattva. Why can't the Lord represent himself and look like an ordinary human being when he created 8.4 million species on this earth? He is the creator of 8.4 million species. Why can't he look and act like any of his species? He is the creator. He fashioned 8.4 million species. Why is it inconceivable that that creator who fashioned all these species cannot look like one of these species? Amita, you got an answer for me? Look how close the Supreme Lord is. It's our teachings and what we are taught that take him and place him at a distant place. Take him and place him at a distant place. Verse 7. Whenever there is a decline of dharma, or Arjuna, and uprising of adharma, then I incarnate myself. Who is saying this? The Lord. Can any human debate what the Lord has stated? He is saying that he incarnates when dharma is threatened by adharma. Who is saying this? The Lord. For the protection, verse 8, for the protection of the good and also for the destruction of the wicked, for the establishment of dharma, am I born from age to age. Am I born from age to age. So Lord Sri Krishna is stating that when the situation in the world becomes unruly and where the demonic forces are overpowering the divine forces, then he incarnates to remedy the situation. What is wrong with that? What is illogical with that? Won't your Creator have to intervene when the scale is tipped on the side of negativity. So what does the Lord do? What does the Lord do? He incarnates to protect the righteous and to annihilate the non-righteous. Is there anything wrong in that? Do we live as a society in that same manner? So the absolute politician arrives on the scene and he diplomatically deals with all the factions. He diplomatically deals with all the factions, and when his diplomacy fails, then he makes it possible for them to be annihilated. He makes it possible for them to be annihilated. Okay, are there any questions? You think the Sri Narayan Dham is off course? Where is the Sri Narayan Dham situated? In Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. Where must we start our mission? Durban, KZN, South Africa. Is the situation, our political situation in South Africa, where the current government, there is more unrighteousness than righteousness today?
Yes.
Is it, can we fact check this?
Yes.
Do we have rogues in government?
Yes.
Have they stolen the taxes, our taxes? Is there preaching every Sunday in churches? Is there preaching every Friday in mosques? Is there preaching every Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays in temples and ashrams? Did all these preachings combined remove the rogues? Rogue politicians? Are they still there? What is God telling you? What is God telling you if the rogues are still there and you preaching in your mosques, you are preaching in your temples, you are preaching in your ashrams, you are preaching in your synagogues, and you are preaching in your churches, but the government continues to steal and deplete the resources of the country? What is God telling you? That no matter how much you preach individually, if you do not unite and remove the government, I am not going to do anything. Because South Africa has the vote. The hardest thing South Africans have to do, the hardest thing South Africans have to do is go to a voting station, pick up a pen, go into a booth and put a cross. When you put your cross, you can remove the government, put in a righteous government and have prosperity in your country. And that is what the Sri Narayan Dham. We started informally today at the first day of Lord Sri Krishna's appearance on this earth, but we are dealing with South Africa. I'm asking the Lord to give us the potency to glue all religions together and remove this government. Remove this government and shower prosperity on our South Africa. I'm making this official today on the first day of Sri Krishna Janmashtami. I'm making it official that we are going to network through the various faiths, various businessmen, various communities, and we're starting our movement. We're starting our movement. Only thing, this movement is led by the Supreme Lord. I'm asking Lord Sri Krishna, I'm saying, you are going to be here for 1 week. In this week, give us your blessings. En route 2024. So, look how beautiful these festivities are. Look how scientific these festivities are meant to be. But this is what we do. We sing a few kirtans, we do arti, and we go home and we say Sri Krishna Janmashtami is being celebrated. God don't want it like that. He wants it like this. Take this opportunity. Use him whilst he is here to better your personal life, your family life, your community life, your societal life, and your political life. Use him. God is here. He is here this week. Make the best use of him. Remember, when you come to satsang, when you go to church, when you go to mosque, wherever you go, whichever religious system you follow, the only thing you are looking for is peace. If you do not have a government that is instilled in peace, the consciousness of the country will never be peaceful. South Africa is burning. We at a point today that one spark can light up South Africa. That is where we are today. One spark can light this country. No ashram on its own, no amount of prayer on its own. July looting, with all the prayers from all the temples, all the ashrams, all the mosques, all the synagogues, nobody could stop that looting. God don't want you to pray. God wants you to act. God wants you to act. You're a human being. You have intellect. You are in a political system. You know rogues are running your government. Common sense. You don't have to be educated. You don't have to have university degrees. You just need common sense. Your cross can change the government. So I'm asking Lord Sri Krishna, give me the power to change the mindset of the non-voting over 18s of South Africa. Not the voting, the non-voters. Give me the strength, give me the wisdom, give me the potency to activate their consciousness and let them go to the ballot box. Because if they do that, there'll be no rogues. in all spheres of our government. So as Lord Sri Krishna took his birth 5,000 years ago to annihilate the demonic kings, let this be his birth in this Sri Krishna Janmashtami. Let us use his birth in celebrating that physical birth that he took in us in South Africa, annihilating this government that is currently oppressing and torturing the citizens of South Africa. Jai Sriman Narayan.